How do generations get their names? 1. Lost generation. Born in 1883 to 1900. This was the first named generation. The term itself was invented by Gertrude Stein. Ernest Hemingway popularized it by quoting her. His 1925 novel, The Sun Also Rises, is prefaced by an epigraph.
You are all a lost generation.
Lost in this context means disoriented, wandering. 2. Greatest generation. Born in 1901 to 1927. This name was first used by U.S. Army General James Van Fleet. In a 1953 speech, he said, referring to the Korean War,
"The men of the 8th Army are a magnificent lot, and I have always said the greatest generation of Americans we have ever produced."
The term only came into general usage in 1998. 3. Silent generation. Born in 1928 to 1945. In 1951, Time ran an article saying,
Today's younger generation does not issue manifestos, make speeches, or carry posters. It has been called the silent generation.
Time was referring to those born in 1923 to 1933, but this has somehow shifted over the years. Now sociologists use the term to refer to those born after 1928. 4. Baby boomers. Born in 1946 to 1964. The post-World War II years saw a baby boom. The phrase was used by the Census Bureau. Births skyrocketed from around 3 million a year to over 4 million. The first recorded use of baby boomer is from 1963. Soon the name became official. It was widely used by advertisers in the 1960s and later. 5. Generation X. Born in 1965 to 1980. Generation X was a generic term until 1991. It was used to describe alienated youth of any generation. Billy Idol's punk band, Generation X, was formed in 1976. That's 4 years before Gen X, as we now understand it, was born. We owe the current meaning of the term to Douglas Copeland. The Canadian author published a cyberpunk novel in 1991. It was called Generation X, Tales for an Accelerated Culture. Ironically, Copeland's book referred to late baby boomers, but the name stuck and came to mean those born after 1965. 6. Millennials. Born in 1981 to 1996. Millennials were named by William Strauss and Neil Howe. These two sociologists created the most commonly used generational theory. The name doesn't refer to a time of birth. Millennials are those who came of age around the turn of the millennium. The short-lived name Generation Y was soon abandoned. 7. Generation Z. Born in 1997 to 2012. While Gen Y didn't stick, Gen Z did. Z naturally follows X and Y, but Y was too awkward to pronounce. No one knew what to call a member of that cohort. Zoomer, on the other hand, is catchy. It combines Baby Boomer with Generation Z. 8. Generation Alpha. Born in 2013 to 2025. The youngest generation so far is called Alpha. The name was invented by demographer Mark McCrindle. McCrindle didn't want to choose a meaningful name.
Names that are blank pages are the best sort of names,
He explained.
because they're not laden with values already. More important than the name that we give a generation is the name it makes for itself.
So he rejected suggestions like iGen or Digital Gen. Instead, McCrindle went back to the Greek alphabet. Alphas will be followed by betas, gammas, deltas, and so on.